Kia ora, everyone. Oh, I better adjust that. Hey, happy, what's today? Tuesday. It's post Waitangi Tuesday. I hope you guys had a great long weekend. Oh my goodness, my camera's not looking very clean. Oh, that's better. Hey, yeah, so for today, I thought I would do something that I've seen quite a few people making, and that is the plum and blackberry upside down cake. So I was given some plums. So I thought this is a great use for plums before they go off. But what I've done, I'm going to change mine up a bit. I'm going to make mine a plum and apple cake because I don't have any blackberries and I've got loads and loads of apples. So I've actually previously started the recipe. So on Cook I Do, this is called the plum and blackberry upside down cake. And what I've done, I have just started the caramelization happening. So in my bowl, I have got 50 grams of dark Muscavo sugar. In fact, I'm just using brown sugar and 50 grams of butter. And that's been cooking away for about 8 minutes at 100 degrees. So let's see what we got here, guys. And this is going to be the caramel topping that's actually on the top of the upside down cake. So it's on the bottom, if that makes sense. Oh, yum. Look at that, guys. Doesn't that caramel look amazing? So what I've got here is a 20 centimetre rose gold cake tin. And all I've done, I have put some baking paper on the bottom of it. So the way I do that, I just take the base out, put the baking paper on top, put the sides back on, and then just cut it with a pair of scissors. So that's nice and easy. And then just to be sure, I've greased around the outside of the tin as well, but it is non-stick. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to pour my lovely caramel onto the base of my cake tin. Oh, yum, this is smelling amazing. All right, let's see. You know cake's going to be good when it's got caramel in it, right? So the reason I picked this recipe is because I've seen quite a few people cooking it. And as I say, I've got some plums there, and I thought this is a good way just to get rid of some excess plums. Gosh, this is smelling really good, guys. So I'm just making my caramel sit around the bottom of my pan, trying to get a nice even layer. All right, so my next instruction is asking me to arrange 2 to 3 plums that have been halved. Put my camera down a bit. Hey, you guys. So here I've got 2 to 3 plums that what I've done, I've just chopped them into fairly big slices. And I'm just going to scatter this on top of my caramel. Now in the actual recipe itself, it asks you to do the plums around the outside of the tin. So it becomes like a nice little wreath shape around the outside of the top of the cake. But you know what? That's just not me. So what I'm going to do is just evenly spread them over. Oh, yum, this is smelling so, so good. And then it's asking me to add 175 grams of fresh blackberries, and we're going to put those in the center of the plums. I'm not going to worry about that. What I've got here is a couple of apples. So with my apples, what I'm going to do is just sprinkle this over the top of the plums. I'm not too concerned about the layout, so I'm just going to make it a bit rough and ready because that's just kind of how I cook. So I'm just going to try and make an even layer of the apples over here. I wasn't quite sure how many apples it would take, so I've just done a rough guesstimate. So I think here I did 2 apples. Oh man, this is smelling so good. Have any of you guys made this cake before? I'd love to hear your feedback. Right, so we'll put that out of the way. There you go. So as I said on the recipe, you arrange them nicely with the plums around the outside and the blackberries in the middle. I'm doing mine a bit more rustic, so I've just got them scattered all over the caramel base. Okay, so now we can actually start making the cake part. So it's asked me to clean the mixing bowl. This is why it's always good to have a second bowl. So on goes our second bowl. And it's asking for 75 grams of unsalted butter that is quite soft. So the recipe altogether needs 125 grams, so 50 grams went in my caramel sauce, and this is the remaining 75. So that's going to go straight in my bowl. $200 grams of caster sugar. So again, I've not pre-weighed this, I'm just going to weigh it straight into my bowl, so 200 grams. Almost there. $1.99, that's close enough. On goes the lid. And this is now going to beat together for 30 seconds at speed number 3. Get in there. Hey, if you guys have got some favourite cake recipes that you like to make, by all means, please just flick me a message. As you've probably worked out by now, I've got a little bit of a sweet tooth, so I quite like getting a bit creative and trying things I've never made before. So, yeah, as I say, I saw this cake and thought, oh, this looks good. So, let's give it a go. Almost done. Okay. So it's not creamed, but it is quite chopped up and chopped together. So into this now I'm going to crack in 1 egg. And again, loose and wild, we're hoping for no shell. No shell. 1 teaspoon of vanilla essence. You'll notice I'm not using my homemade one yet. I'm still waiting for that to stew a bit longer. Apparently the longer you leave it, the better it gets. On goes the lid. And we're now going to beat this together for 20 seconds. Hey guys, welcome along. So as I said, I'm making the plum and apple cake, except I'm using the recipe called the plum and blackberry upside down cake. So I just don't have blackberries, so I've just substituted it out with some apple. So this is my caramel base with my chopped plums and apples on it. So now I'm just actually making the cake itself. Okay, so I'm scraping down the sides of the bowl. It's nicely brought together. So we've got quite a nicely creamed mixture now. And into this, I'm going to add 150 grams of plain flour. I was considering making this gluten-free, but yeah, that just didn't happen. But yeah, you can make it gluten-free. Just put your gluten-free flour in. So 150 grams. There's actually not much flour in this recipe at all. Okay. Awesome. 175 grams of milk. Yeah, I've got to try and be quite precise with the milk because it's a bit hard to get out if you put too much in. $171. Oh, $177. It's close enough, I reckon. 1.5 teaspoons of baking powder. So I'm going to put 3 halves in. And just to remind you guys, if you are going to make this gluten-free and you're using gluten-free flour, you may need to add a little bit more baking powder in it. A pinch of sea salt. On goes the lid again. And this is going to do a final beat, the speed 4 for 10 seconds. Okay, straight down at the sides. Just a reminder, guys, it's easy to go around the bowl than actually poke up and down, simply because you don't want to risk your spatula getting caught on the end of the blades. I learned that the hard way, by the way. Okay. On goes the lid again. And another 5 seconds at speed 4. So pretty much from what I can see, this is pretty like a plain vanilla cake, except it's going to have the plums and the caramel on top of it. Okay, so that's my batter ready to go in, and I'm just going to pour that straight on top of my caramel, my plums, and my apples. Hope you guys can see that okay. Oh, yum. This is smelling so good. That caramel is now set. Wow. I don't know why it takes me so long to discover these yummy things. It's not till I see other people making them I thought, oh, I better give that one a go. Okay. Okay. Just going to spread that out so it's covering all my fruit over quite nicely. Okay, so this is my finished cake. It's going to go in the oven. It's going to cook at 180 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes. And just like your traditional cake, you know it's cooked when you put in a skewer and it comes out clean. So it says after it's finished cooking to leave it in the tin for 5 minutes and then turn it out upside down and enjoy. All good, guys. Hey, come back to my page and I'll show you what my completed cake looks like. It's smelling really good, and I can't wait to actually see what it turns out like. But guys, yeah, I will see you later. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Ciao.